Good freaking morning. Henry, hello. How are you, man?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Let me make sure I got things set right. Oh, I got the echo going on. Let's fix that. Okay. A little better now, I think.
How was your turkey day, sir?
Dude, it was great. Hang on. We're gonna get into Turkey Day here. Get you on the screen. I think Tickle's watching. Good morning, Tickle.
GM Tickle.
By the way, are you on speaker?
No, is it bad bad connection?
I got some kind of echo. We're gonna deal.
Yeah, I can leave it come back.
I think give it a try.
Yeah. Bye.
And he's gone. Anyway, good morning. A holiday week almost in the bag, but kicking off holiday season. Holy cow, this time of year. Tickle, since you're the only one watching, I don't know about you. I don't love it. It's okay. The kids like it, right? Dude, but interesting week all around. Like news and market and just everything happening. It's really Binance and Blast. Just crazy stuff happening. Definitely market impacting. Henry, welcome back.
Mic check.
I think a little better. Maybe not, but whatever.
Yeah, still bad.
It's not bad. It's just there's like this little there's just like little like loop or like echo going on. I think it's fine.
Okay, I can try to reconnect my headset.
It doesn't matter. You know what? If people join and there's comments that it's bugging them, then try then. But I don't care for now. So yeah, man. Holiday, Thanksgiving holiday. Good times. A day off work, maybe. How was yours, man? That good.
Oh, sorry, I was disconnecting from Wi-Fi, seeing if that changes things.
Oh, that might have helped a little.
Better. Did you ask how my holiday was?
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we had a bunch of Nikki's family came over. It was good. It was. I love Thanksgiving. It's like my favorite holiday.
I think so. Growing up, it was definitely mine, and I think just as an adult, it's just like the whole production is less fun. But I think with family around, it's probably fine, right?
You know, it's funny. It's like all the work that goes into it. You know, like all the shopping and all the prep. You know, what, 20, 30 minutes of sitting down eating, and then you look at like the mess, and you're like, man, something about this just doesn't seem right. A lot of work, lot of work, and a lot of cleanup for some leftovers.
Yeah, that nobody touches anymore. So, okay, first off, I was wondering if that's just, I know it's not just our family that does the eating and you're done in 20 minutes, but like, does it feel like that's gotten worse? Like every year it's just faster and faster and more pointless?
You know, okay, so it's kind of hard to, I don't know, sit down and eat for, I mean, we're fast eaters anyway. You know, our brand of family is known for our speed eating. So specifically talking like me, you, and Tickles. So I don't know. You're supposed to like sit down for 45 minutes to an hour and talk about life.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the problem: is that by the time my work week's done, or by the time like I have a day to chill, the last thing I want to do is talk to people that I don't really care to talk to.
Fair. That's totally fair. And to be fair too, I mean, I feel like we talk plenty in the week, and everybody knows what's up and what we're thankful for, and you know what I mean. I think everyone's already current on stuff, so you sit down and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they are. Even the leftovers,
too, right?
Like nobody wants to eat leftovers for like more than like, maybe one. Yeah.
Like, okay. It. So like yesterday, Lila wanted to go. Okay, so yesterday, Jacob had a wrestling tournament. He didn't come home for leftovers. He went to Culver's and Taco Bell, and Lila wanted KFC. Like nobody's interested in leftovers. Nobody's interested in, I don't know, like any of it. Although like I things, it was nice. It was nice. Phenomenal dinner. Like, every year we best, and because I think every year it just keeps getting better. But yeah, still when you sit down and it's just a few minutes, and then you look at it like you said, and then you got your hour plus of cleanup. It's just like, let's do pizza next year.
Dude, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said when I got up from the table. I looked at the mess, just like everything, the roasting pan, the everything, the crock pots. I was like, just pizza would be easier.
Yeah.
And it would probably serve the same exact function. Like people want to get together. It's funny. I think Thanksgiving's the holiday that we like because it's kind of the only one that we celebrated that was decent. Like Passover is not a fun holiday. Like that's like excruciating.
Right.
It's like being asked
it's not a fun
go to church for 5.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So it's it kind of makes sense. I do like Christmas. But I don't like the commercialization of all of it, I guess.
Yeah. And speaking of that too, I mean, just to have some kind of NFT tie-in, it was cool seeing the Cool Cats in the parade. I don't know if you caught that live.
No, I didn't catch it live. I recorded it because there was a football game on, so like I was watching pregame stuff. But it was cool to see it.
It's cool to see it, and then it goes to the commercialization of it, which then feels funny. It's like I was rooting for them when it was. I guess I'm still rooting for them. I say this a lot. I'm rooting for everybody, but when you start seeing them there, it feels different. And I feel like I don't have to root for them anymore because they're big enough or they have enough like eyeballs on them where I don't have to give a shit about them and talk about them. Something changes when you see them like that. There's just something to it.
They got cool stuff coming. They got, they're making some serious inroads into the Japanese market. Yeah. With their manga that's going to be coming out. Yeah, I think
their animated series kicked off too. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but you can watch that on YouTube. I think they might even have 2 episodes now, but Blue Cat and Chugs are their characters. I can't remember the name of the show too, but they're definitely cooking now.
It's, it's interesting, and maybe it's something you'll get into topic wise, or maybe not. So it might not be the right place to talk about it, but it's just interesting that these projects that were sort of like the beginning of our journeys, these early projects that a lot of people write off because they're not the current meta. Like people are looking for, I minted or I got it for free and now I can sell it for 0.3. I just think people, I don't want to say they forget, they're just not at the forefront of most people's minds. Like what's happening with X, Y, or Z, when in reality, a lot of those early projects takes years to bring some of this stuff out. So I think 24 is going to be interesting to see like what some of those projects, bring to the forefront.
Yeah, now here's something interesting you and I have chatted about before too. By the way, I see you Tickle in YouTube. Good to see you, man. And Muna TV said, yeah, too much noise in the background. There's definitely that, whatever that is with your phone.
Is it my car?
It's just like when I talk. Well, when one of us talks, there's definitely like a feedback background noise. Say something real quick.
Something real quick.
Something real quick. Yeah, I mean, just I guess roll with it still. It's not your car though. It's definitely like some kind of voice feedback.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut everything down. Sometimes if I voice chat on Discord, it creates a weird loop. So let me just close everything down and I'll come back in.
Cool. Okay, cool. While you do that, I'm going to hit the market. Muna, however you say. Thanks for the heads up about that, though. Yeah, dude, let's take a look at the market because we had that crazy week. Well, I'll say weeks. We had a few weeks at least, maybe even a month plus of really, really wild action. And then it started cooling off, let's say last week and starting into this week. But the past couple of days, things came roaring right back. And you got to believe that's because of probably the Blur airdrop and the announcement of Blast, which we're going to get into Blast. Henry, you're back. But yeah, we're going to get into Blast. I think that's fascinating. I think that's a game changer. And that changes a lot of my thoughts about the market. We were all thinking, where's that liquidity from Blur going, right? That airdrop. Is it going to go to NFTs? Is it going to go back to SoFi? Are people going to roll it into crypto? And it's kind of none of the above. People are just locking it away in this multi-sig wallet now for months, expecting an airdrop. And again, maybe that money goes nowhere and just stays parked right there. It's really, really interesting. Again, we're going to dive into that here in just a few. Okay, Henry, let's do a little voice check.
Mic check.
We're checking that mic, and I think, damn, it's still there. What could that be?
Well, sometimes when the link comes up, it says with Android devices there can be an echo, like with StreamYard. So I wonder if it's that, but I'm going to try one more thing. I'm just going to disconnect my headset and reconnect it.
Let me ask you too, is it a big hassle to mute when I'm talking? Because I think it's when I'm talking I hear the feedback.
No, it's not a big deal at all. I'm going to mute now. I'll reconnect my headset, and then I'll just go that route.
All right. Well, I'll keep doing some market here then. I guess we're going to start here with the Forecast 500. This is like the S&P 500. It's measuring the top 500 collections across blockchains here. It's the value of them. And in the past 24 hours, we're up 0.72%. Pretty fantastic way to start the day, especially on a weekend. Typically, weekends are down, but we're seeing that's not the case here. People still buying NFTs. The value of those top 500 collections continues to rise. And I like to zoom out a little bit because there's something kind of major that's brewing here. Looking at the month of November, we're up 16.14%. That is a massive number, and I'll tell you why. For a 30-day period, I'll say even most 7-day periods, we rarely see the market up in the green as far as value goes. But to see us up 16%, that matters so much because our highest performing month ever on the index, it was this year. It was in January, actually. In January, we were up 17.33%. We have a very, very real chance of seeing the best performing month for NFTs ever, according to the index. So just around 1% away from beating or matching that record. With how things are going now, I think it's going to happen. Henry, you're back?
I'm back, sir. Any better or worse?
I think still samey, maybe a little better. Us actually maybe a little better here. So yeah, let's just let's roll with it. Okay, and I see you muted there too, so that's cool. All right, so I was just letting them know the market, as far as November, on pace to maybe see the best month of NFTs ever. That's just, again, measuring the value, the increase in value of the NFT market. We're around 16% up right now. 17.33 was the previous all-time high in January. We got a little to go to beat it, but again, if we keep up this trajectory here, I think we are going to see NFT's best month ever. So it's pretty darn impressive. Switching over to cryptoslam.io, and we're going to look at sales yesterday. 29.7 million in sales, down slightly from Thursday, but still a pretty significant number when you scroll back and see where we were just, weeks ago. We were struggling to cross 10 million in a day, but really before that, we were struggling to even break 5 mil a day. It was pretty rough for a while there. We're out of that territory, I think. And it feels like we just need to cross over the next few weeks into 2024. And I think we see that typical January boom. I mean, until that January boom doesn't happen one year, I have no reason to bet against it happening. Now I want to peek over at weekly. Again, just to compare where we're at this week, 179 mil so far. We have just around, let's see, 36 hours to go in this data period. We're not going to come anywhere close to what we saw last week, which last week was the fourth best performing week of the year as far as sales volume goes. So 285 mil last week. We would need over 100 million between today and tomorrow to match that number. Not going to happen, but still really, really, I mean, a really great looking market here. And then we'll zoom out just one level further and then we'll dive into collections. But November for the month, we're at 764 million in sales. That also is our fourth best month of the year. I don't think we're going to be able to climb any higher than that. Because, okay, so March is our third best performing month, 931 mil. So we're going to need like 150 mil over the next few days to match that. No, actually, yeah, close to like 200 mil or so. Again, over the next like 5 or 6 days, don't see it happening. Although with the way the market is today, nothing's going to shock me. It's been a really great market the past, we'll say, few weeks at least. Henry, how you feeling about the market in general?
Yeah, I got FOMO, man. So I feel like I don't want to say it's back, but I feel like I'm missing out on literally everything. So it's, you know what? If nothing else, even though I am missing out on most things, it's just nice to know. Yeah, I've said this before. Like you need those periods of time just to have that to keep that conviction going for the long run.
At the very least, it keeps like other people engaged. Like I'm not playing hardly anything, and you're not. It keeps the other people who are. It keeps them engaged, and it keeps that, like, I guess their money in circulation. And you need that if we want to build something, I guess bigger, a market that's tradable for you and me, right? But I'm with you, dude. I'm like FOMOing, and without spending really. I've bought a couple NFTs this week, and we'll get into some of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I wish I was playing stuff. I wish I had some positions that I took in the bear market because a lot of those are starting to play off in a big way already. But it's just it is great to see people excited for stuff again, and really to prove some doubters wrong who called the market dead and never coming back. We all knew it was coming back, but truthfully, I didn't think we were going to see any type of action like this for honestly, maybe a year or two. Although I still was expecting that January pump, right? I just wasn't expecting anything major. This to me is major, and this to me feels so much more organic than what we saw even at the beginning of this year, which was purely just that blur farming. Um, Even though right now we're seeing blur farming, that's kicking back up. But again, right now feels like people are truly collecting, and maybe ultimately that is what the index shows. The forecast 500 that really reflects that it's new liquidity coming into the market, and it's people buying up those more established collections. Okay. So you've seen this, and I think anyone watching has seen this. There's not really new mints. So this isn't people, selling their assets to get the new hot thing and playing that slot machine game. This is people genuinely collecting those established, tried and true, those blue chip projects, and that's what's different about this period as opposed to the beginning of the year.
Yeah, though there have been mints, and there's some coming up that are hyped, and ordinals has started to kind of pop off again. There's a lot of like excitement on that end. Do you know what's funny about it is we've talked about how our time in the game would prepare us for the next run, where you could really set yourself up to understand how everything works. And I don't want to say take advantage of it, but use it to your advantage. Buying, selling, trading, degenning, just knowing the market movements and trying to make some money off of it. I think what we didn't realize is, like, while all of that's true, there's nobody who's deeper into the statistics than you are. I don't think there's anybody I know that's got a better pulse on the overall market than you do. I think what we didn't realize is we would both be so incredibly busy that while that's true, we know what's happening. We know there's moves to be made out there. It's a time factor. Like, you still have to put the time in to be able to get in, and you have to have the liquidity too, to be able to get into the things that you want to get into and be able to exit them at the right time. You gotta spend a lot of time on it to be able to do it.
Yeah, legit hat tip to the traders, because doing that isn't easy, and it's not an accident when people really do well, right? It's they put the time in, they're in the right alpha groups, they're timing their trades really well. Again, that takes time, and clearly it's time you and I don't have anymore, which is, it's such a bummer. I've even said in our group of friends, our idiots group, Like, we got to bring some alpha back, or I just got to find a good Discord that has that kind of alpha, because I see things after the fact when I'm looking at numbers, right? I'm not catching it organically in conversations. Although the group we have in Idiots who are hardcore and active, they do bring good alpha. They do bring stuff early. I think we just need to ramp up the quantity of it. But Tickle's become a gangster with that stuff. It's really impressive. Like, he's really getting splashy in ordinals, and I think it's just growing that out. By the way,
no, Tickles is all over it. But you're missing out. Wall Street Kongs, we have those new forums by chain. I think we got Ethereum, Ordinal, Solana, Arbitrum, where people are posting alpha. I mean, honestly, that you got to put some time into it to stay on top of things. But the forums have really taken out that part where it's like, oh, I really need to be in the conversation from the beginning to really take part in it. The forums just organize the alpha. And then there's certain people that you start to learn are better than others at making their calls. One of them's in our idiots group, though he's not as active, but Control Ross in Kongs, he goes by Kong Control. Man, he across the spectrum, Ethereum, Ordinals, he's got a lot of good calls in there. So you should check it out. It's a new feature.
So, like, I'm showing my Discord now, and I'm showing Kongs. I'm giving people like they're tasting the forbidden fruit right now, looking at Wall Street Kongs on the screen. Where are the forums? Community Alpha. I see it. Oh my goodness, dude! Never saw this before.
It's new. We started it like maybe last week or the week before, and basically for people who provide alpha, Coco is going to be giving away like at least one Gen Kong, if not some baby Kongs, to the people who provide the best alpha in there. Really? So like some ways to reward people for bringing alpha to the table.
I may try to get active there because, when I do tap in, I do usually get, I'm usually good with calls. Maybe I can work my way to a Jenny Kong that way. So get a little active in Wall Street Kong, share some stuff, maybe earn a Jenny Kong. That'd be sweet. I love this. The forums look cool. And I like that it's pretty expansive. Like, I like seeing Solana stuff there, which has been cooking lately here. You guys got it all. Arbitrum even, man. Arbitrum is very, very interesting. I'll just say that I'm very bullish on Arbitrum and what I see over there. A large part because of Forgotten Runes. Like, they are, I think they're going to draw a lot of eyes. They got the right personalities. They've got the right technical guys. They're kind of doing everything right now. So shout out to those guys. I'm going to drop this screen off and get back to my screen. And I got to show you something. This is totally unrelated, not NFT related, but I got to show you. You'll appreciate it. Okay, can you see the screen? Oh, I lost Henry. Did I boot Henry? By the way, good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Uncle Matt. Great to see you guys. You were in the wrong Discord. If you guys are on Twitter, by the way, it doesn't let you comment, which kind of sucks. I don't know why it does that, but hop over to YouTube. You can drop comments there. You can join the live chat there. I'll find a link and drop it. But if you search NFTLDR on YouTube, you'll find the channel. You'll find the live stream. All right, let's bring my screen back up. Henry hits a dead spot in his commute, so I have a feeling that's what he just did. Okay. Screen's back up. This is just checking floor prices across collections. And here's something I said probably 3 weeks ago, a collection I was using as a barometer for the NFT market. Said, watch Pudgy Penguins. Because at the time, this is when Gordon Goner was going on a shopping spree and buying up those Grail collections. Well, Pudgy Penguins hadn't moved. Pudgy Penguins were up, let's say, 2 to 5% in a 30-day period, while all their peers were really outperforming them. And that's because Pudgy Penguins really throughout the bear market held their value, maybe increased in value a bit. But the point there is they were priced properly. These other collectibles, they were starting to go up in price because they had lost so much. They were coming back to reality. So Pudgy Penguins had nowhere to move. Reason I'm watching Pudgy Penguins is to see when are people willing to speculate, like to price in speculation again and start pushing something and in a way using that pumpy term, right? Pumping a project that hasn't really done anything extra, but they're willing to throw more money because they got more money right now. Well, now we see Pudgy Penguins up 23% in the last 30 days. They are really starting to move. In fact, I think 6 ETH or so here is an all-time high for the Pudgy Penguins. If not by ETH price, it is in US dollar price. So this tells me people are starting to I guess, be willing to open up their wallet and spend again in that more speculative way, right? They're going to secure some stuff while it's still there and affordable. They're worried that these things could get out of reach. And that is a possibility with how much liquidity is in the market now. So Henry's back. Okay, welcome. Did you hit your dead spot?
I did. Yeah, then it totally froze. So
okay.
I think I'm past it.
All right, cool. All right, I got to show you something I got in the mail yesterday. There was a Kickstarter for this, and I bought it probably almost a year ago, and you might know what it is. Okay. Do you know what this is?
A lightsaber?
yeah,
No, I don't know. Wait, is it a blowtorch? Is it? Oh, it's a lightsaber.
It's all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came from, like, what is it? From Hacksmith. They made, like, there's a viral YouTube video of them making a working, like, lightsaber, like an actual real world working lightsaber. And they made them in, like, mini form, and they're like torches, but like, it's pretty freaking cool. It's awesome. I don't know if you can see, but like the flame shoots up to here.
Oh.
It's hard to see because it's actually red. No, I would like to try that. But yeah, you can put these little inserts that turn the flame green or red. And again, like, it doesn't show it on camera well, but it sticks up like probably 6 inches. It's pretty freaking cool, man.
It's amazing, sir. It's amazing.
Andrew, what kind of Christmas present? I'm just trying to picture if we're going one way or if or she's a Star Wars fan. Good morning, English. Good to see you, man. English, by the way, dude, you're welcome to join. I know you may have to be a little quiet in the morning, but you're welcome to join. In fact, anybody who wants to come up, like, ultimately, let me get you on the screen again. I'm sorry. But ultimately, anybody who wants to come and join these weekly shows, this is more, it's not just for me and Henry to talk. This is for anybody to come and shoot the shit. If we know you especially and we trust you. Without the flame. Yeah, I hear you then. Without the flame. English, that's cool. Too early for English. All right, let's get more into market and what really were the biggest happenings this week. Let me actually, before I do that, I have to show this stuff because I love it too much. But top collections. Let's do top collections in the past 7 days here real quick. Sats BRC20s kind of dominating the top 10 still. As far as typical collections, it's a lot of familiar faces. Bored Apes are there. Art Blocks Engine, we're going to look at that in a second here. But Gods Unchained, Mutant Apes, D-Market. Dokyo from Avalanche actually is really getting a little splashy there on Avalanche, which Avalanche, like I was thinking with Arbitrum, Avalanche has really got my attention. They are doing a lot of things right. Them getting bored, what's his name? Bored Elon Musk, big Twitter influencer guy. He's helping to build some of those M-squared environments over there. That just means in this attention economy, Avalanche is going to be drawing a lot of attention, and we're seeing that now with some of their projects. So keep an eye on Avalanche, guys. If it wasn't on your radar, probably was in the past and it faded, but they're certainly back in a way. Art Blocks Engine, again, we'll touch on this after, but they had a big drop this week with Jack Butcher releasing his first kind of real generative art collection. I guess Chex is generative art, but there's something about that made people say it's not quite the same as releasing like a long form generative collection. But that collection, I'm going to save this because we're going to talk about that because that probably was the biggest drop of the week. So we'll get into that in a minute. Biggest story of the week. It's a toss up between Binance and Blur Blast. What do you think, Henry? Bigger story, Binance and their $4 billion fine and CZ being out, or the Blur airdrop and the launch of a Blast platform? What do you think?
Well, I think what shapes the market more is Binance. What do degens care about? Blast. I thought the Binance news was massive and messed up in many ways, but yeah, I personally thought the Binance news was bigger.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, Binance has to pay a $4.3 billion fine. CZ stepping down as CEO. What was interesting here is I saw that he had to plead guilty and he's got to fine himself. I'm not clear if he actually faces any type of prison time. Does he?
No, I think the agreement was he got probation, 3 years or 5 years probation for that. So I don't remember if his personal fine was 60 million or if it was 30 million or 20 million, but
I think it was like 170 mil or something, or maybe that was his bond actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking his personal fine was like in the tens of millions, not over 100 million, but I could be wrong on that. Largest fine ever imposed by the Treasury Department.
That's
largest
insane.
ever.
So,
Yes.
okay. So yeah, it is a bond. I was looking at $175 million bond. They say he's a significant flight risk. Yeah, it's crazy. Now I wonder if there's more to this that we just don't know about as far as, man, if he's pleading guilty to that stuff, there's something there, right? Like this isn't just like accidental, like crypto's early, we didn't have regulations to do it properly. It seems like there's a little more meat to this. Wouldn't that maybe be true?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something that we've obviously talked about this a lot in Idiots, and there are laws on the books, even though they may not be super clear relating to NFTs. I think what makes a lot of these tokens different is that a lot of them were offered as ICOs, and so the ones that they allege, two things. One is that their definition of securities. A lot of these tokens meet the definition of securities, but what they really got them on was KYC AML, the anti-money laundering laws, bank secrecy laws. That's really where they got them. Is that they, whether it was just that they completely avoided doing KYC AML for US based customers. Oh, can you still hear me, or did I cut out?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whether it was just that, or like I read some articles where they had proof that they were actually one of the guys at Binance was like in a North Korean army uniform, basically showing North Koreans how to skirt sanctions using cryptocurrency.
Really?
Yeah. Now, again, I read that it was a man. I might have read that on CNBC. Like an article that I saw on CNBC, but yeah, he was in a North Korean uniform with a whiteboard where it said like sanctions ? And then like a smiley face next to it, and was basically explaining how to like use crypto to skirt sanctions. So I think those are the kind of things that are just blatantly breaking the law. But one other interesting thing that I read was that that ultimately this was a play for the U.S. government to be able to insert itself into what's arguably the largest exchange in the world, and that now they've got access to the data. And so now they've been missing that ability to really be able to oversee the off-ramp of fiat, and that now part of this as part of this settlement that they, I think for at least 3 years through a third party, will basically have access to the data on Binance, so that they can really oversee things. And I think that this article finished with like, okay, so now that the government's in it, this whole thing was about decentralization, but with a centralized exchange and with the government really being involved in being able to like supervise things. What does that do for crypto? Now you're just left with like clunky technology that doesn't really do what a lot of people thought it would do. And again, I think the person writing this had probably a little bit of an axe to grind against crypto, but it was an interesting take on
it. Andrew is mentioning something called TCG World. I'm trying to wrap my head around what that is. I thought at first it was the parallel card game, but it's not. Okay, yeah. To your point, though, yeah, really good points. I wonder if everything we thought and dreamed of, like the crypto landscape, that dream of decentralization, I really wonder if that's kind of out the window at this point. I think it can never be all the way right, but yeah, the more the government gets their hooks and things and gets access to the data and funnels you through their systems, the more that stuff is just becoming a pipe dream, which is a super bummer, man. But I don't know. I guess I'm not shocked by that.
Or decide that maybe they don't want the U.S. involved. Maybe people are like, yeah, we're just going to exclude the U.S. from any potential drops or token offerings, etc.
Well,
now the other side of that is I've heard that geo-blocking doesn't quite qualify.
Okay,
say that again?
No, well, okay, I'll get into that point after. But what is geo-blocking?
Geo-blocking is like what, let's say, Blur did, where you can't participate if you're in the United States.
Oh, I
where
see.
you're like, Yeah. Although there's questions as to whether geo blocking actually qualifies to be able to uh, you know meet the standards, because ultimately what the US wants in order for you to be able to say that, like, oh, we don't include US customers, is that you have KYC AML. And it's really funky, man. Like, I didn't realize this until talking with like Europeans and like trying to set up a bank account for cybercongs, which is really difficult. That, like, you have to fill out forms even for a bank that's not based in the US. You have to fill out US like tax forms stating that you're not a US citizen, and like giving them all your information. And I'm like, wait a second. People who aren't in the US that are opening a bank account that's not in the US, they have to prove that they're not a US citizen. And this is like very normal outside of the US. I'm like, I didn't realize we have our tentacles that much into everybody else's shit, but we do.
Yeah, I guess not shocked there. Okay, so what undoes any of those concerns I have about decentralization and it not being centralized is when Bitcoin's accepted as payment, right? Like broadly, when you don't have to on ramp to fiat and when you can just spend your Bitcoin and you don't have to leave the ecosystem, that's where things really get out of their control, and that's what they're really trying to prevent, I think. But that day's coming, don't you think? Where
I
Bitcoin is
do.
accepted and then it's just swapping your whatever for a stable and then swap into Bitcoin. Or man, I'll tell you what, the Phantom wallet built a native swap. I mean, a lot like a lot like the swap inside of MetaMask, but that kind of stuff is a game changer, I think. The less you have to leave your wallet, the easier you can just switch to your tokens and just buy anywhere on any platform. That's the stuff that gets us to that, again, that pipe dream where it is decentralized. That gets us there. So there is hope, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're still a ways off, and who knows what kind of damage they do to the industry. I mean, it's hard to even imagine getting fined $4 billion. But I think the
Crazy.
U.S. It's crazy. It's dirty, man. They're so dirty. It's so gross. But yeah, I think that day is coming. I think we're still a ways off from it, but I do think it's coming. I used to remember Jordy, right? Jordy from Bats,
Yep.
where she's an attorney, and she would talk about how they're just trying to, they're just trying to understand things, and this is how they get to understand things. And I'm like, no, 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 they're not trying to understand things. They're trying to wreck things.
Yes,
Like, they're
absolutely.
if they were trying to understand things, they would actually be bringing in the industry leaders, asking them, hey, how do what about this? How can we do this? What would help you guys? What can we do to help? I'm like, this isn't about understanding. This is about demolishing, so they can continue to prop up their hedge funds.
Yeah. Uncle Matt says you signed the terms of service when you were born. He's right, man.
I love him,
Totally
dude.
right.
He's a smart guy. He's witty and he's smart. Matt,
Speaking
good to
of,
see you, sir.
yeah, Matt, I love watching your turtle streams, by the way. I put that on. It just sits in my background here and there. So I love seeing those. Have you seen
Dude,
those, Henry?
no, you're gonna have to send that to me. I'm gonna have to send you a picture. He sent me like an 8 foot by 5 foot CyberCon's flag with like
Oh, get out.
Henry. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture when I get to the store, because I got it at the store. It's hilarious. It's
That's
massive.
incredible. That's awesome. Okay. All right. I need to see that. Okay. So the Binance news, then the biggest story, I'm going to put it right up there though. It's Blast, and rewinding even back just a little bit from there. It was the Blur airdrop. Blur season 2 ended on November 20th. How many millions were given to traders? I think 300 million or so is what people said. That's a lot of money put in the hand of degens and traders and farmers and whatnot. Some people making as much as like 10, $11 million. Trying to find my tweet that really shows. Oh, you know what? There's an article from is it Cointelegraph? Yeah. $11 million to one user. Now, I don't know if you saw Machi Big Brother, but that dude made $2 million after losing $14 million farming, like trading at a loss. I don't know if he's just a bad trader, and maybe not a bad trader, but like clearly when you lose to that degree, you're doing something wrong. Probably wrong to assume that airdrop's going to be worth any specific amount and to be trading at a loss, like assuming what you're going to get. but it's really rough to see that. Like he tweeted out "fuck you" to Blur and to Pac-Man, and I get it, dude. Freaking $12 million the dude lost with all this back and forth trading and loaning and whatnot. So that hurts.
Do we care that Machi lost money?
Oh, personally, no.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest. But if he was a large part of what kept the space propped up for most of this year. And by propped up, I just mean it like we had this very cushioned landing throughout the year, just as he just added so much liquidity to the market, helped people get out of assets if they wanted to. If he exits that, does that change things? Maybe not, because he's not the largest trader. I think some guys got him beat by probably like 10x as far as what he spends and his volume of trading. So does it matter? No, but those are the guys you got to make sure these are tuned to help, I think. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm totally wrong there. Maybe you need to tune it for your everyday person, your like smaller degens, and maybe that's the way to go. And hopefully all of this whole new system being built does exactly that. This new system and their big announcement is that Pac-Man's launching this layer 2 called Blast. Blast is its own chain, I guess, right? It's its own layer 2 blockchain off of Ethereum. Long story short, right? If you were being asked basically on Blur to stake your money, right? Stake your ETH there, trade it for that. Is it Blur ETH? I don't know. I never used a platform, so I don't know. But basically lock up your funds there and then do your trading right on the platform. You're not making money by doing that, especially like you see with Machi. He's losing money. But over on mainnet, you could stake your ETH and you earn 4% a year. So Blast is now doing exactly that on their L2. So stake your ETH, stake your stable coin, and earn 4%. That's a pretty attractive reward to entice people over, right? To make people want to stick their money right into your platform. So that's pretty darn huge. And right now, I'm going to pull up their wallet so you see how much they're up to now. Any guess what they're up to as far as money that's in their multi-sig? Oh,
it's like 350 million or so.
Yeah, that was it probably a day ago. It's at 435 mil right now.
Wow.
So getting real close to $500 million that's locked up there. Dude, it's just degens are going to degen, but it's like, if you trust those guys, people trusted them for almost a year at this point. Why not trust them a little more and see if they can deliver something that really, I think, changes the game here. So at the very beginning of this episode, I said, when we knew the Blur airdrop was coming, we were wondering, are people going to put that in the NFT market? Are they going to put that in SoFi? Are they going to put that in crypto? I didn't consider that they would just put it right in a platform in a way like staking, right? So here's what I'm questioning. With the money in their multi-sig, does that mean that's money you can't spend on trading? Like, is it completely locked up and you don't have any access to it? Or is that still locked or tied to the Blur platform and you can still do your trading there?
No, it's totally locked. Can't touch it till February, right?
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So that was my understanding. So then there's all that money that we were hoping comes to NFTs that isn't, at least not yet. Maybe that gives us a big boom in March or so when that is, or February, March when that opens up. By the way, English is saying Machi's a pretty good dude. I've heard him on Spaces and I have liked him. He's not said anything that I disagreed with or thought he was douchey. So English, I think I agree with you, man.
Wait a second. Wait. But what about? I'm just curious. What about his all of the accusations of 22,000 Ethereum that he's basically kind of rugged from people?
Oh, I never heard that.
Oh, that's like his whole. That's why people dislike him so much.
So what was the rug through? Like, did he launch a coin?
I don't know if it was NFT projects. Honestly, it's been a little bit, but it was like 22,500 Ethereum that he basically rugged through various projects. I'm not at a computer right now, so I couldn't pull it up, but used to be a little more versed on it. Maybe English would know.
Yeah, English. Do you know? Okay, bridge. Okay, well, they're giving some more details on Blast. So the bridge ETH is locked. The staked Blur is not locked, but you can't trade. You can't trade NFTs with Blur, I don't think. And then Uncle Matt saying he keeps hearing rumors of security issues that are locked on an L2. That's just speculation, Matt. It's just people saying it's the trust thing. Like, do you guys trust that much money in not even a contract really, or a platform. It's just in a wallet right now, a multi-sig wallet that only requires 3 of 5 signatures to move that money out of there, right? And all those wallets are brand new. All the wallets new and funded from one address. I don't think that means there's any type of problem per se. It's just, I think people being smart and putting facts out there, and you decide for yourself. Do you trust $500 million in a wallet that's controlled by just ultimately 3 people? And that's a legitimate concern.
Or one person that created 3 wallets.
Or that's okay. That's that you're right. That is the point. Or is it one person who just has to make, sign 3 transactions and boom, $500 million gone? We've seen. Okay, guys, we have years now of evidence of we don't have the best characters in this space all the time, right? And sometimes those those awful events can take years to develop. People can earn your trust and they can really let you down at any point. You got to imagine, as good as your intentions are, $500 million has got to tempt anyone. So I would imagine it's safe. I hope it's safe. That's just what building looks like here in the blockchain, right? It's different and it's trustless, and but we are trusting that individual. So that's where people's concerns come from. It's more of a like, guys, just be smart, maybe hedge your bet, or at least know if you put it there, you're taking a big risk that it could just be gone overnight. And that is true. It absolutely could.
Could you imagine if this was like the slow play of like the all caps slow
Pac-Man? Play? Yeah. Oh, dude, it'd be brilliant.
It would be it would be perfect for crypto in some disgusting way. But yeah, I mean from my dealings with Pac-Man, he seems legit. But yeah, you don't really know anybody in this space,
right?
Like you really don't know anybody.
But I doubt English is saying it's safer than the money being in a smart contract. That could be true. Like, because I think there's all kinds of these bad actors who look for ways to they work these contracts. They try to exploit them any way possible. So maybe that is safer than being in a contract. I don't know. I'm not technical enough to weigh in any more than what we've said already. It's just
well, I would say, like, I don't completely agree with that. It's not safer than being in a safe smart contract, because if it's a safe smart contract, if it's been audited, that trustless smart contract, if it's been audited, has got to be safer than a multi-sig, a 3 out of 5 multi-sig. Like that's some insane trust you're putting in. Which, by the way, I had bridged some ETH over, so I was willing to roll the dice. But yeah, I mean, look at Owl's smart contract with the Guardian contract, right? Where like you can give out the private key for the Guardian contract to a wallet, and you can't pull those assets out of there. Yeah. There's certain things that could be done that are certainly safer than a 3.
That still blows my mind, by the way. I still think the Guardian contract is just incredible, and I still hope to see that like adopted widely by every project. It's just wild to think that somebody can have your seed phrase, your private keys, they can access your wallet, and they can't move your assets because you got them locked via a whole other contract. That's incredible. That's innovative. That should become the kind of the gold standard of the space. But it feels like systems like that are what are being built and have been being built over the past, let's just say this past year. People understanding, guys, the way we've been doing stuff, it's kind of risky, and we need solutions, and people are building solutions like the Guardian contract that's now been around probably 2 years now.
It'll be 2 years in like March.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. But yeah, that's the stuff we need. So at the same time as the blast news, I've been talking a lot about flooring protocol. I'm not going to bring it up, but I'll just mention here again. The flooring protocol said they want to hold 10 to 30% of collection supplies for collections that are on the site. Actually, shit, I am going to bring it up. And here's why that's so damn interesting, guys, because man, I haven't been on the site in a while. Their collection list just keeps growing. Okay, so long story short, these are fractionalized NFTs. You stick an NFT in a vault, you get 1 million U tokens for that collection. They want to stick, again, 10 to 30% of these collections you see on the site into the vaults, pulling them basically out of circulation. Now, just knowing that it's only 10 to 20% of NFTs that are wash traded over on Blur that are farmed, what happens if all that supply, those liquid JPEGs, are no longer liquid. They're now stuck in vaults over on Flooring Protocol. What are people going to farm? Right? If there's no JPEGs that are liquid to farm, they're either going to have to start raising their offers on NFTs that are in the hands of collectors, like real collectors who may not want to let them go. They will for the right price, or those same traders move over to the Flooring Protocol and they start trading the fractionalized assets because it is a rewarding platform too. So maybe we have people move from Blur over to the Flooring Protocol, trading those U tokens. And those U tokens, by the way, you can now collateralize those too. So you can just stack these U tokens and take out loans on those. Just the ecosystem is getting very, very complicated in a good way. But man, we are degenning at some depths we had not we had not really even considered just maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, especially like a lot of collections, like 10% listed would be a decent amount, right? Like a lot of times you're looking at collections going like, there's 5%, 7% listed. I feel like once you go over 10%, it's sort of one of those markers where you're like, there's a decent amount of the collection listed.
That's
10, 12. Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
to even think 20% seems like that's crazy, because what collections have 20% of their collection even listed?
And so that's where it gets interesting. The only way they can really get to that number is by actually starting to throw attractive offers at collectors, right? If they have a goal of locking up those assets, maybe they're thinking way in the future, just being able to control these. Maybe they're going to be overpaying at some point to get that share of them. Because you're right, 10%, yeah, they could buy up every single NFT that's listed and they can get their 10%. But to get to 20 and 30, yeah, you've got a different kind of game plan, and that kind of game plan changes the NFT markets in a very big way. 10 to 30% gone, locked up is interesting. Now, you can swap out those U tokens for the NFT. So now the opportunities are there, playing the price of U token versus the floor price, or the the floor price of the NFT, and you got opportunities there. And you're going to have all kinds of arbitrage opportunities of, again, spending the U token on the NFT, then because floor prices were up elsewhere, then you're selling them over there, and you're just playing this cycle of arbitrages. It's
Question.
Yeah.
So with the U token, is the U token specific to the collection, or is
Yes.
it just specific to the ecosystem?
Each collection has its own U token. So let's say Azuki, so you get U Azuki, or U Nakamigos, or U Lil Pudgies. Yes, so each collection has their own batch of U tokens. And what they do is, when the price of U token, so the amount of U token, the 1 million you'll need to buy a Lil Pudgy, let's say, when it's out of whack for floor prices, like where you see floor prices outside of the platform, that's when they have to go buy something on another platform to bring it back in balance. So that's where that buy pressure comes from on the Flooring Protocol. To keep the price stable, they have to keep buying these things and vaulting them. So again, just and when I say this stuff, I haven't got this figured out in my head, how it works and where the opportunities are and when. I just know when you have these kind of dynamics, it's going to create opportunities on both sides of it, right? There'll be times where U token is the play, so you're going to throw a Pudgy Penguin that you got for cheap in a vault. You're going to take those U token, the million U token, you're going to cash out the U token. You'll swap it for ETH or something. And then the flip side will happen too, where the U token's cheap. It's more worth it to go buy that little Pudgy or whatever NFT, and boom, that's your arbitrage. So just a lot of opportunities will probably come from this. How far off is it? And just general time frame, I don't know. This is probably like a deep next year thing, but the ecosystem is growing and changing, and again, getting more complicated. But degens love that shit, man. So it's getting good complicated. Andrew, welcome back, sir. Okay, and then kind of ending on I guess the marketplace topics. This is interesting to me. LooksRare is also getting involved in gamification a little bit more. We saw maybe let's say a month ago, maybe a little longer. They had this basically like a roulette wheel, like you spin a wheel and you earn a prize, right? Did you ever see that, Henry? Did you ever play it?
No, I did not see it, and definitely didn't play it.
I forget the name of it, but long story short, with that, you can put in, I think, 0.01 ETH. And depending on how much you put in is either your multiplier or it's how many entries you get in that spinning of the wheel. The wheel spins and it pulls all the money people put into that spin. Let's say there's 5 ETH that was pooled into this round. You could put in 0.01 ETH, and if you win it, you get that full 5 ETH. That's it. It's that simple, and it's that degen. And there's a lot of people legit making some serious money on this thing. pure gambling, pure degen shit. And again, degens love it. But now they've got a game called Infiltration. I wonder if I can pull this up in a way that like looks a little better. But long story short, with this Infiltration, they had a mint, like an actual like PFP mint. So you mint a team. That team, if you guys ever played Chain Faces Arena, this works like Chain Faces Arena. Your team will randomly take damage, each individual character. So you take damage. I think it's like every 5 hours or so, 0.3% of all the assets in there take damage. Now, when you take damage, you have to pay looks token to heal your asset. If they run out of life, they're dead and they're out. Now, at any point, like Chain Faces Arena, you can pull your team out, or maybe you can pull individual characters out, because along the way, they're earning a currency called, I think it's Quit. I think this is it. I think it's Quit Ethereum, or it's Escape ETH. You can leave at any point with the Escape ETH that you've accumulated, and it's yours. Swap it for ETH. You've made money. So the longer you stay in, the more Escape ETH you earn. So you played Chain Faces Arena, or you at least touched it a bit. It sounds exactly like that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But honestly, that was a ton of fun. Like I really enjoyed Secret Project #1, right?
Yep.
That was,
dude, a really fun time. I like the gamification. Okay, now where this gets maybe a little extra spicy is when you heal your character. I think it's 25% of the looks that you spend to heal, it actually is burned. So looks is now deflationary. So the currency's burned when you heal. Each time going forward that you have to heal, it costs you double the amount of looks to heal it. So let's say it costs you 10 looks to heal it first. The next time you have to heal your character, it's 20 looks, and then 40 looks, and then 80 looks. So this game ends when everybody's pulled out their assets and taken all the Escape ETH, or when there's a final man standing who gets all the remaining Escape ETH. Again, as I hear it in my head and say it out loud, it's exactly like Chain Faces Arena. And I recall in Chain Faces Arena, somebody ended up making like 1 mil, maybe 2 mil in the end, like the last man standing. I think there's a lot more money behind the Infiltration game here on Look. So somebody's going to get a pretty nice payday. And I guess it's ultimately just fun seeing these things gamified. It's just, it makes them very fun. Got a lot of gamers and gamblers, and this appeals to just a lot of people, man. I'd be tempted to do it, but at this point, you can only get them on secondary because the collection minted out. So if you're going to play the game, you got to buy somebody else's Infiltrator. I don't know what they're called actually, but you got to buy one of their enemies.
Like if you don't exit, does it, like with Chain Faces, how they went to the burn address? Do you lose it, or are you just out for the round?
Yeah, I think if he dies, it's burned. I think the actual NFT is burned too. So yet another parallel there to Chain Faces. It's pretty cool. I want to see more mechanics like that. And they also said this is just the start of looks becoming deflationary. So I'm sure they're thinking up more games, and they have more ideas to lower that supply. Oh, and I guess last point, the fees that they make through this game, and maybe elsewhere too, just platform fees, are all going to go to them buying back looks. So again, the amount of supply available to the public is just going to keep going down here. Makes looks kind of an interesting play.
It is interesting.
It is.
I'm sure that'll catch the attention of our friends at the SEC. But no, that is that literally checks all their boxes. But I like it. I think that sounds actually really fun. Yeah. What are they going for on the secondary?
Dude, that's a good point. I had not seen. Let me see if I can pull up that collection real quick, though.
While you're doing that, did you play Captain and Company at all this week?
No, I wanted to. Inverted invited me. That was on gymnastics day, so I didn't get to. But you played, right?
I did. I thought you were coming, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play. It was fun. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm easily entertained with games, but we talked about this on Spaces the other day. It's just fun getting people together in a community to play something. It was, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I mean, that kind of game is like
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, the gameplay loop, it's like Sea of Thieves. So that's like this tried and true gameplay mode that people just love it. So that'll just work as long as there's enough people on that platform or on that blockchain, because it's Arbitrum, right?
Yep, it's Arbitrum. Yeah. If you're getting rewarded, the cool thing is, like, you don't have to own the NFT to be on a crew, and the captain who has to own a ship, he can basically set what percentage of the tokens he wants to be able to disperse to his crew. So even if he's got some non-crypto native person who he's like, hey, you want to come and be part of the crew? The crew gets 25 or 30% of the loot that we collect. You don't need a wallet to connect. It's kind of, I say it's genius. It's easy. So it'll be cool to see more games like that come out that could really help to onboard new people that don't need to know all the idiosyncrasies within crypto.
Yeah, I love that. I love that a lot. By the way, the floor price on these infiltrators that are still alive is 0.036. So you can spend that to get some skin in the game. Basically, their health may be down, like they could be damaged, and you may have to pay some looks to bring their health back up to 100 or whatever. But affordable if you wanted to get in at this point. Dude, let's do some art talk because there is some cool art stuff happening. Trying to think what's the biggest story. I could say probably the biggest art drop. Actually, there were two of them. We'll start with Alpha Centurion Kid. He released a collection called the Worthy Collection. 25 editions. They're all 1/1s, and they come with physicals. And I got to pull up the physicals because they're actually mind-boggling. Like I was not understanding why people were losing their minds over this collection. And when I saw the physical, I kind of got it. If you're into physical art.
I like his art too. Like I for some reason, like his art's always been cool to me.
Dude, he's really good. He's really cool. He's unique. He's pretty great. But on screen, I've got the physical. He's got this like kind of film over it that when you spin it like a hologrammy type tape. So when you look at it in real life, it looks glitched. I think that's wild. Like super, super creative. That could have been done before. It may not be just something that he, invented or was the first to pull off, but it really maybe for the first time makes a glitched, like digital art piece look proper. Like it actually looks right in real life. And I've just not seen somebody else pull that off. So I was really impressed seeing it. When I saw the physicals, when I got it, when it clicked for me, I'm like, I get why people like this. Now, with that said, there was a lot of controversy with this drop. I believe they were partnered with Avant Art, and okay, 25 editions. People were under the assumption that this was purely a raffle in order to be able to win a spot to mint the piece. But it ended up that guys like Cosimo and maybe I'm throwing out Dingling. I don't think it was him, but other big names, they mostly got to mint this piece. Only 6 people from the public were actually picked to mint it. So it felt like it was very much a reward for his collectors and that nobody else really had a chance. So that's a bummer. Although the platform behind it came out and said that, there's a time and place for it being fully public. There's certainly a time and place for rewarding collectors. They're like, we heard the feedback though. We just need to be more transparent. And I think that's the ultimate takeaway. People in Web3 on the blockchain value transparency. You got to be transparent with all of these drops. People are really let down that they just had, they spent a lot of time. They gathered resources to be able to buy the thing. And in reality, they had almost no chance at even getting one. So
what's the secondary?
So they were selling for 10 plus ETH. So the mint price was around, I'll say like 2.5 ETH or so. And yeah, secondary market, I saw some of them, multiple of them selling for 10 plus. Not sure what they are now. So significant collection. Again, great artist. Yeah, here is somebody saying, yeah, Cosmo was one of the guys who got that. I don't know. There's some other big names, but again, yeah, pretty controversial. Great drop though. I mean, really great piece of art. I'm just going to do these in like a scattered order here. Rarible no longer supporting Tezos, which a big blow to Tezos. They've really been struggling lately. I'm as big a fan of Tezos as anyone out there, and I don't feel very good about their future at this point. In fact, kind of worried about my art that's on Tezos, like some Zancans and stuff that I spent quite a bit of money on. A little worried. Like just a little worried in general about the value of that. I wonder if any of those artists may be willing to like remint those pieces on Ethereum. It's been floated out there before. I would kind of like to see that happen.
What's the issue on Tezos? Are people just not digging the chain itself?
They just
it's
really
always been kind of like a different type of crowd.
Yeah, different crowd. I'll tell you this. As much as I love Tezos, and as much as people used to scream community, there's a little... God, this will sound worse than I mean it to sound, but there's a little snobby attitude over there. And for as much as I've supported people on Tezos, I've not felt any kind of love in return. I know I get some shit from the Tezos community in general because of Crypto Slam, because we took so long to get Tezos on CryptoSlam, and some of it was it not up to par, right? It's still being built. But I just had this like wave, and this is going back forever, but I had this wave of Tezos people like unfollowing me and like did podcast episodes with some big names over there. They wouldn't share the episodes out, like just no love at all from the Tezos community. It's like, you guys got to be showing some love if you want people to give a shit about your chain. And you playing this like this game like we don't need you. You do need people. And now we're seeing we're seeing the repercussions that people are not really giving a shit about Tezos anymore, and it's a real bummer.
What's Tezos price right now? Is it over $1?
It's close to $1, which is great,
So
considering it's down to like 50, 60 cents, but 82 cents right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's doing okay. It's pumping with the rest of the market, but I think we'll never see those $5, $6, $7 days again. So bummer there. But so another sign that Tezos really struggling in 5 days, 5 or 6 days now, FX Hash launches FX Hash 2.0, which is on Ethereum. Again, another problem for Tezos, that their best art platform now has a gate to Ethereum. And I think once that floodgate's open, I don't know that anybody really comes back to Tezos. Because why? I think these artists are going to see a payday that they've not seen and experienced on Tezos yet. And at that point, they're going to be like, my next mint, why would I bother minting on Tezos for a couple bucks and the instability of the coin? And when I can just do it right on ETH and make some big dollars. So again, Tezos has got a big problem on their hands. Seifert, the founder of FX Hash, finally is dropping a piece. It's been a year and a half since his last NFT. That NFT, by the way, one of the most valuable on the Tezos blockchain. It's got about 1,000, maybe 1,200 Tez floor. So it's like $800-900, nothing crazy, but in the Tezos world, it's pretty significant for a 1,000 edition collection, by the way. So his drop is coming.
The logo?
No, actually not the logo. He did his own piece under his name. So the logo was the first NFT on the platform, and he did it, but he didn't do it under his name. But yeah, now this one's a collaborative piece, by the way, and it's open edition, but a ciphered piece holds some value regardless. So definitely one that you don't want to miss. Hopefully it's cheap enough where there's no reason to mint it. And my question, and it may actually be on the site and show, but what chain is it going to be on? I would assume with him kicking off the ETH side that he's going to do this mint on Ethereum. So probably a safe bet, but it doesn't say yet on the listing. So we're going to find out there. Moving right along.
I'd be bummed if Tezos kind of went by the wayside.
Well, we got a lot of skin in the game there. And
you more than me, but I've got a decent bag over there, and I like it. There's something it reminds me of Idiots, if that makes sense. It's like you're home away from home. It's like another place that not everybody knows about, not everybody plays in. But yeah, good memories on Tezos.
Dude, definitely. And I hope they don't die. Andrew, thanks so much for joining, man. I'm gonna look in TCG world, and if I don't give some info on that, maybe on one of my shows this week, at the very least next week when we do the live show, I'll definitely talk about it. I would go to it now, but I'll just be like learning live, and that's probably not fun to watch. But I'll definitely do some digging into that. Yes. And Rajan, good to see you, man. Any skins to invest in for the bull run? Are we talking like gaming skins, like the Counter-Strike stuff? Hit me back with that. I'm curious what type of skins you got in mind. And then while I'm waiting there, a couple more art things. Avant Art again partnering to release some physical prints. Last time it was with the CryptoPunks collection, so they partnered with Yuga Labs. Now they're partnering with Art Blocks to release a Chromie Squiggle physical print. Now, if you have a squiggle, you get a print of your squiggle. But if you don't have a squiggle, you can still get a print. It's something like $325 worth of ETH. It's a really cool way. Like I said this in one of my videos, this is a cool way to start bringing NFTs into your home, and in a way that makes sense to non-NFT people. Like, they can appreciate art. Now, a squiggle, it's kind of a hard one to wrap your head around. It was for me, for sure, right? When I first started, it was like, I don't get it. I get it now, right? I get the appeal of rarity and, hitting on rare color palettes and rare like variations of squiggles. Again, it's the rarity game and odds and chance, and then the value that's associated with it. hang that on your wall, and over time you can have these conversations with your friends. Over time you will probably win them over, because I would say this: there's almost none of us who started generative art and understood it, and probably a lot of us laughed at it. Like, again, the squiggle's a perfect example, but over time I think most of us have come to appreciate it and have come to say, all right, I mean, I get it. At least I'll throw some money at some of them too, but at the very least we get it now. So this will work on your IRL friends. um and so Rajan was talking about gaming skins like Counter-Strike stuff. Dude, truthfully, I don't know. Like, what are the opportunities for skins? I truthfully don't know, because the guys buying those skins are still non-Web3 people. So I don't know what's appealing to them. I just know, dude, I saw a tweet this week of a guy who was offered $1 million for a Counter-Strike skin. That could have been an old video, but there's still tremendous value to them. So, the game is finding the hottest game and then finding the rarest skins of them, which it's maybe too easy of an answer, but it's just the easy way to play that stuff. But Rajan, I'll keep thinking of, I guess, other hot games that are coming, and what are the assets people are looking for in those games. Trying to think of what's the biggest game coming that's got skins involved. Anything on the top of your head, Henry?
Yeah, I was just trying to think the same thing. Can't you're talking like Web 2 games?
Web 2, if it's got some like NFT or crypto facing stuff. And I'm still kind of hoping Grand Theft Auto, with the trailer coming out in like a week or so, I hope there's going to be a crypto tie in there. But yeah. Well, any Web 2 game. Well, no, it's got to be Web 3. So any game that has some skins that you've got in mind. And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't.
It's one of those things you're like, God, I would think I have some ideas and thoughts, right? But I don't.
Well, because a lot of Web3 is like interoperability, and so you've got projects that have, if you own the NFT, then you can play it as, your avatar in their game. But yeah, I'm trying to think on the Web3 side, what games have like skins like that.
Yeah, nothing popping in my mind either. Block games, though. Are you familiar with block games, Henry?
I've seen it talked about, but I'm not familiar with it. Like, I couldn't give you a dissertation.
I'm the same way, dude. Like, I see people in our Discord talking about doing well on it. The price is like really pumping over the past day or two. This is yet another that, again, just like, too busy to keep up with some stuff, unfortunately, and I need to. But I don't know. I'm not sure at all. I don't know why they're pumping. Are these on the Aptos blockchain, by the way? I just see they're doing spaces with Aptos. I don't know why they do that unless they've got some kind of partnership. They're integrating on Base. I saw them trending on OpenSea today too, and that's what got me thinking about them this morning. And again, Rajan, I really got to do some digging there. So kind of like Andrew's question, that's something I will have to dig into and come back with some info. I still keep thinking of doing like one-off little shows. Maybe like a gaming focused one, like not something I'm going to do regularly, but just when there's a lot to talk about, just spin up a show about just gaming. So maybe I'll do that this week. And I do have the time right now to do it. So yeah, dude, maybe I'll do that and talk a little, what is it called? Block games. I'm going to finish on a couple of art things here. Okay. First off, guys, this is alpha, by the way. Okay. This dude named Non-Figurative. Okay. He just posted this. It's a work in progress and for FX hash, right? Really, really cool looking. He uses a little like kind of local storage wizardry to make two windows interact with each other. And dude, yes, Pudgy Penguins, amazing. But like really, really cool thing. It feels like magic. And this type of magic captures the attention of non-NFT people, right? So this is going to be an NFT, but the broader public saw this video and they're like, holy shit, that's wild. That tweet right now has got 9.2 million views. So this tweet went viral well outside of the NFT community. It's popped up on LinkedIn. People are sharing it there. It's popped up on all kinds of social media platforms. And again, this is going to be an NFT on FX hash. So that is your alpha. You need to follow this guy and be aware of when that drop is coming. And that's going to be extremely valuable. I saw this. I woke up in the middle of the night. I do this all the time, by the way. I wake up in the middle of the night and something bites me that I got to go buy this thing. And I know what it is. I'm like, I got to buy it before it's out of reach. In this case, I stopped myself. I'm like, you're doing that stupid FOMO thing. Don't buy it. I was looking at his old collections. He had a collection on FX Hash, just one collection, priced at 0.88 TES. I'm like, I got to go buy it. That's pretty cheap. I didn't buy it. I woke up the next morning and it's at like 180 TES. Let's see what it's at now. Yeah, 169 TES. He also had a collection on art blocks. The floor was like 0.05. Next morning, I woke up and it was like 0.15. So this guy's seeing a pump in his collections just because that viral tweet. And again, TLDR, when this piece drops on FX Hash, this will be an instant grail. And if he launches it on ETH, this could be one of the bigger grails we have ever seen on the FX Hash platform. So keep that collection and this dude in mind. There's your alpha.
Is there any date in mind for that?
Nothing at all. And dude, this guy went from like, I don't know how many followers he had before, but he's at almost 50,000 now. Like everybody is looking at this dude. So no date. I'll definitely keep you posted on that because I am watching this like a hawk. That's gonna be a very, very hot drop.
AOF first. That's minting this week, right?
AOFers. I've never heard of it.
No, AOF first.
I still don't know what that is either.
AOF first. Yeah, it's like it's a hyped mint. Okay. I don't know if it's like a 2K collection, 5K collection.
Any whitelists, sir?
Yeah, Kong's got whitelist for it.
Oh.
Yeah, Kong's got whitelist.
Pretty cool.
It's hyped, but anyway,
I gotta get more active in there.
It's so hard to keep up on everything. It's but no, you should be. In fact, you should be like popping in. I don't want to say you should be. A decent idea is for you to hop in the Wall Street Kong voice chat and just do your 5-minute TLDR there.
That'd be fun. Actually, that would be a lot of fun. Dude, you know how I am, like where I am so... Oh, I'm turning a corner here, by the way. I am so anti-marketing myself because I feel funny doing it. Like I feel really stupid. And this is normal. Anybody who starts doing anything, you don't like promoting yourself because you feel weird talking about yourself. I got around that corner because I've got to build this thing, right? So I have to get out there and put the tweets out and get on spaces and go chat. It just feels weird. But I have finally gotten to the point where I don't care. Like I've realized... me shilling is not me. That is a brand. And I'm trying to look at that as a separate thing from me personally. So
you're not, the thing is, you're not even shilling. You're just like doing your thing. You could hop in Wall Street Kong's voice, give your 5-minute update because you can stream in there. Give your 5-minute update and that's it. People attend if they want to attend and they will. People
so
like
I could schedule my own chat there.
You can hop in anytime. It's just an open chat. So you can hop in and stream. Guys go in if they're going to reveal, an incubator or if they're going to reveal a Genkai. People just share screen, anything in there. So you can go in anytime. You don't have to announce it. You just go in there and start.
So maybe I would announce it. Maybe I'll say like, hey guys, at like 1 o'clock, I'm going to do a 5-minute market review. Just give a heads up ahead of time. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Shit, dude. That sounds pretty damn cool. I will schedule one maybe for tomorrow then. Because tomorrow gives me a weekly review. So, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Last art comment here, by the way, guys. I would say really the biggest drop, probably bigger than the Worthy collection, was Jack Butcher's generative art collection called Trademark. He also had a Signature collection. Signature is just a 200 edition collection, and it was done via Dutch auction for Velocity pass holders. Trademark was a 10K edition collection that had a public sale. So that launched at 0.069 just a few days ago. Sold out really quick. And unfortunately, that contract wasn't audited or wasn't audited well. There was no limit to how much you could mint. So multiple people there minted 20 plus, let's just say 20, because that's what we have on record, but it was botted. There were bots minting 20 of these. It drove up gas. It led to a lot of people not being able to buy these. So there was some disappointment there. And because of all the failed transactions, because it sold out so quick, Jack Butcher's offering refunds to people that had those failed transactions. So in total, it looks like he's refunding like almost 60 ETH worth of failed transactions, which is wild. A bummer for him. A bummer that the Red Bull team or the whoever's running this, I actually think it was ByteBit, they didn't step up to the comms when shit was going down. They went silent, and it was Jack Butcher out there, the artist himself, having to apologize and to explain what was happening. So not a good look for ByteBit. Great look for Jack Butcher, who is really becoming a legend in the NFT space. And we'll just say this is the second bit of alpha. I did mint 2 of those because I really I just get Jack Butcher's significance. If you don't get his art, you at least got to appreciate that he is kind of the dude of the year in NFTs. So this collection had been sitting around a 0.1 ETH floor since the mint. It's now up to, let's see, 0.25. My gut tells me it's a multi-ETH floor on this collection in the long run. Let's say later this year. But this is his version of a chromie squiggle. And while he is not Snowfro, he's Jack Butcher, right? And Jack Butcher is a legit dude in this space now. Like, Jack Butcher's got almost 300,000 followers. What does Snowfro have? He's got almost 3 times. He's got 2.5 times the amount of followers that Snowfro has. So just some of these things are just kind of easy math. You know what I mean? Like, Jack Butcher he demands a lot of attention. He deserves all that attention. His NFT sitting at a 0.25 floor right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If I had the ETH, I personally would buy another. I'm happy with the 2 I have, but watch this collection at the very least, because this is not your typical Gen Art collection. It's Jack Butcher. So enough said there. I think on art that may wrap it up. In fact, I don't know. I say that might be a wrap for our topics today. Guys in the chat, anything we didn't touch on that you'd like to hear, or any thoughts or comments about the market in general? And Henry, that goes to you too.
Man, I think you've done a magnificent job covering it. Honestly,
beautiful.
Like, it's a nice way to end the week for me. To catch up on kind of sucks. I feel like half the time I'm catching up on things that already happened that I missed out on. So it feeds the FOMO, but it's good. I'm kind of looking forward to being able to dive in a little more into some of these things that I just don't have time to dive into right now. But I think in February, after we migrate, then I feel like I'll be a little bit more in the position to
I
just
like
in time for the bear to come back.
Just in time for dude, that's it. February, March is when that starts. So well, you know what? That's when the Blur airdrop would probably happen. That's when season 3, that's when the money's unlocked. So that might be perfectly timed for a crazy giga run. So that could be. OMB. Okay, English, I'll touch on OMB. By the way, I am working on, and I'm going to put some more time in today, but I'm making some of my own charts. If you guys have ideas for charts that you'd like to see, just some interesting metrics that you don't see in your face out there, let me know. Like, I've thrown together this chart. It's average sale price and trade profit together. I just like seeing the correlation between the two. Like, average sale price is high or low, but were people actually making money that day, or was that people selling big NFTs at a loss? So that is in the long run. When I start feeding more data to this, I think we'll see some interesting correlations here. But it was a little more straightforward over the past month here. It's basically the average sale price increased, and so did trade profits. So that was interesting to see. Flip side is happening, though, the past few days. We're seeing the trade profits increase, but the average sale price decrease. I think I need to throw number of transactions in here too, just to see if that means the volume, like actual trade volume, is increasing. But expect some cool charts that you've not seen anywhere else coming soon, maybe to Twitter threads, but also especially to the show. And let's see, volume and floor price of OMB. Dude, I saw them on the top 10. I'm not super plugged into ordinals, so if you got any comments about it, English, let me know. But we're going to take a quick peek at OMB, which, dude, half a Bitcoin is what they're selling for. Holy cow. You got any OMBs, English? I'm peeking at average sale prices here. Oh my God, dude. Beginning of the month, they were like $5,000-$6,000. Now, all of a sudden, the past few days, they're like 20 grand.
Have you been following Doginals at all?
Are they on the Doge chain?
Yeah. They're like inscribed Doge.
So yes and no. Following closely, no, but following the noise, like knowing that there's a lot of talk about them and that NFTs are really bubbling up there, that I've been keeping up a little bit on.
Coco won't touch ordinals, but he will degen into Doginals. I find that interesting.
That's really weird. That's really weird.
It is weird, and he loves Bitcoin, but he would not get into ordinals. But he's seeming to like notionals.
Uncle Matt made a good point here, something we could start covering. A source of alpha with a sentiment analysis of socials. So Matt, is that like where it's tracking like accounts on Twitter and like their amount of followers, basically, and basically the attention they're getting, like the not impressions, interactions and whatnot with their tweets? English, how much you make on that OMB, if you don't mind me asking? But Uncle Matt, if that's what you're talking about, I agree. I can find that site and we can start doing a segment on that, because that does matter a lot. Like, where is the attention going in this attention economy? Man, if you keep up on who is keeping that attention on them, you're kind of keeping up on where some of that money's going. And we know how this works, right? Because we all follow, we've curated the people we follow, right? It's the people we think that, kind of lead you to, the good price action, the best projects. You follow them. Usually you're into stuff early. So to Uncle Matt's point, absolutely right. Yeah, Uncle Matt, I'm going to look for that. If you find it, send it to me. Yeah, thank you, sir. And we'll start doing a segment on that too. Guys, this live show is practice for ultimately getting a very tight show and doing something out there that nobody's doing. So it's focusing on the broader cross-chain market. I like the idea of focusing on the social activity. Talking the value of the market. I think ultimately we're going to have a very cool package show here for you. So thank you guys for doing this with me, by the way, and helping me fine tune things. That show, that iteration, whatever that is not far off. I mean, I'm brainstorming it kind of every day now. I would say just a matter of weeks away. So again, thank you guys for just participating. English, nice man. Okay. Hey, he sold for a quarter Bitcoin, a little more. So pretty freaking solid. Nice. Dude, and wizards, I've got to go get active there. I need to get a wizard. I've got to. English is going to get a wizard, a Taproot wizard for sure. He's been active. He does their space. Right, they're not for sale yet. They're not minted really. They mint them. Maybe there's a couple that have been minted, I think. But yeah, Node Monkey saying will do well too. And I think, is there a chance that we are going to get Node Monkeys in Idiots, or was that another project? I need something, dude. I need to start fucking making some profits here and flipping or something.
Same. I need to feed the FOMO just a little bit. Just a little. I don't even need much, man. Just give me a flip for like 0.15. I'll take it. Like, just something so I can feel something. You know what? At least I'm not feeling what I'm not feeling that I felt in the last bull all the fucking time was buying the top.
Oh, like, that's good.
FOMOing in, buying at the wrong time. I've at least been able to be patient and learn that, like, okay, like if I miss out, I miss out. I don't feel like I need to grab this thing when it's running.
Well, now opportunities just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So you miss it and then you missed it. English, should I okay, we may have a chance at those Node Monkeys, so that's great to hear. English, do I still have a chance if I get in and get active in Taproot Wizards? Do I still have a chance at getting picked for one? And Grok doing well too. Again, I'm out of everything. I am thinking about buying some banana. I saw that's performing pretty damn well too, but I'm one of those guys expecting a pump if and when it migrates to Ronin. I want to buy a bunch of berry from the Pixels game, which that game is doing fucking phenomenally. So,
it is migrating to Ronin for sure.
Okay, well then I do want to hit on some banana then.
Play and Collect is coming, and you're gonna have to be able to get banana for Play and Collect. So yeah, it's coming. I fucking man, I cannot wait for Play and Collect to get re-released. I think it'll be fun. But we'll talk about that when it gets close.
Yeah, dude, and you're welcome at any point to share alpha here if you got it. I'm gonna end on showing you my favorite NFT I got this week, because it's not the Jack Butcher drop. Actually, I kind of have a tie now. Hang on. Because I hit some, you already know what it is, one of the two, but I hit something in Play and Collect that I have not hit in ever. I've got my baby Kong, I get my shards, and I'm always rolling for these what are they called? I can't remember.
The charms.
I'm always rolling for charms. I finally got a Promethean relic, which that is the rarest charm you can get. It gives you like the most substantial buff in the game. I don't think I should use it. I think I'm going to hold it. I could swap this right now for like 430 banana. So I'm kind of tempted to do that.
I'd hold it.
Hold it. Okay.
I'd
There's not
hold
a
it.
lot. There's 300 of these. Like, there's not a lot.
Yeah, I think when Play and Collect migrates with the new features that are coming for it, I like if it was me, I would hold it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to trust on that alone. So I'm going to hold that Promethean relic. So I was so excited to hit it, and I hit 4 rainbow shards too, or charms. So that was pretty cool.
I've never hit a relic. Yeah,
really?
never.
Wow.
Nope,
Okay.
never.
Yeah, I had
That
like
was a good pull.
1,600 charms or shards saved up, and I'm like, fuck it, because I was thinking of swapping it all for bananas. So I was doing that, and when I hit that relic, I'm like, okay, that's cool. All right,
Hell yeah.
my favorite NFT this week. Okay, if and when bats are ever done, I got to change my PFP. As much as I love my bat, like I love that as much as any PFP I've ever had. My mutant bat, which is a Kong and crypto bat, merge mutant. But Avastars, man, it's where I really cut my teeth, and it's a project I love dearly. They shut down. Well, they that simple. They shut down this week. They're done. They closed down their replicant factory. Replicants are where you can take Avastars, pick the traits you like on them, and assemble your perfect avatar. So this is a replicant. I finally was able to put one together. I used traits from my favorite avatar that I minted back in the day years ago. So the cyborg or the zombie skin and the cyborg trait here. And then I used some traits from an NFT I bought that was Pranksies. I like those things that it's like a signature, right? So I looked at that avatar that I bought as something that was signed by Pranksy because he minted it. And then I picked my all-time favorite trait across collections, and that's VR. So I assembled my perfect Avastar. I love it. I absolutely love this. I think this will be my PFP. I think this will be my identity, unless I get a V1 Punk eventually. This is the guy. Oh, dude, I'm not even showing my screen. What a fucking idiot.
It's funny when I saw this when you did it, I recognized the base because you actually rocked that PFP for a little bit. Like you did have that zombie skin for at one point in time.
Yeah, I'll show you exactly what it was. It was this guy right here with the red hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a little bit of him. Here's the Pranksy. These two are both Pranksy, actually. The woman and the guy with the top hat. So I used the hair from the woman. I used the top hat, and I think the eyes from this guy. I used the zombie skin and cyborg from him, and the mustache came from this guy, which I think was no, I won this from Avastars. So that actually, for that reason too, I won it from Avastars in a contest. So that was special to me. So I used the mustache there. And I think that was so cool, man. I think that was incredibly innovative. I love Avastars. They are iconic and historic, and all those big words that we throw around in the name of so many projects that don't deserve it. Avastars deserves it. They are as iconic as you can get. And I do think in the future their price may reflect that one day. So we'll see if we ever get there. But if not, they're special to me and a lot of other people. So that will almost definitely be my PFP. Freaking love it.
Congrats on that. No, that was awesome. I FOMO'd that too. I was like, fuck, man, I totally forgot. Like, I didn't realize that they were shutting down, and I never made a replicant because you needed their token, right? In order to do it. And was it only with Series 1?
No, you could get those. Well, okay. You get an art token for any Avastar. So in total, there's only 25 art tokens in total, 25,000 of them. So I had to swap some ETH to get one. They didn't communicate this well at all, by the way. It was basically like, hey, tomorrow we're shutting it down. Now, there were guys out there that bought like 50 plus Avastars. They've been sitting on them forever because they're like, in the long run, they see a play in Avastars. They think people will make replicants for forever, that would be a thing. So some of those guys are getting wrecked by that decision. I suggested in their Discord, and I don't know if Jimmy ever saw it, but I'm going to ask him a little more directly. Like, what do you think about opening the replicant factory once a year on the anniversary of Avastars? Something like that. Open up the factory, let people go crazy, buying them up on secondary and putting together replicants. Like, make a special event of it. Do something like that would be cool. And I can't, if it's being shut down because of expenses, I get it, but I can't imagine that's going to cost you too much to kick it up, once a year. So that was cool to see.
But I was happy for you.
Well, thank you. And I get it too. I would have been really bummed if I missed it. So I'm glad I saw the tweet and was able to, I got it in with like 2 hours to go. So, yeah, it worked out. So, salute to you, Avastars and Jimmy and Walshy and the whole team over there. You guys, incredible. And let me think here. I think we're about out. Is there anything else? Thinking. No, there's nothing else. Guys, again, thank you so much for coming and participating and chatting and just everything. And I tweeted this earlier in the week. 4 months, for 4 months now, every single day I've made a video, which is crazy. I didn't think I would keep it up, but I did it to prove that I could keep it up. And whether that's just for my resume, whether that's just a personal goal or challenge, I'm really excited. I've been able to do it. I'm more excited that people have found some value in the videos, that you guys have tuned in. Like I said in the tweet, if you watched it for even just 1 second in total, thank you. Like, it means a lot that people would put a single moment of their time into watching this stuff. So thank you guys a lot. And again, just more to come, more ideas for shows. And ultimately, can't share anything here yet, but a much bigger idea that's coming together with other content creators. It's going to get pretty interesting here, let's say in the next couple of months. So I'll feed you guys those details when I'm able to, but it's not far off. Henry, any parting words?
No, sir. Great show. No, you do a great job, man. I like attending. I look forward to being able to do it from home when the girls' skate schedule changes a bit. But no, appreciate you having me on, and looking forward to another week of degenning, or wishing I was degenning. So yeah, we'll chat here soon, sir.
Yeah, that
Wishing.
sounds great. You getting home and being on camera with me would bring this show to another level. That would be so fun, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that day too. Guys, I hope your weekend's fantastic. I hope your Thanksgiving was amazing, and we got a lot of fun ahead of us all together. So looking forward to all of it with you guys. So with that said, tomorrow I'll be back with a 5-minute morning update and video talking market and happenings. I'll see you then, guys. Have a great weekend.